Hello and welcome to Omnia with Claire Cummings
and Richard Boland. Now on today's show, we're going to be meeting one of the Midlands' longest serving presenters.
This Mad Hatter has proven himself a true football supporter, going from fan to chairman of Luton Town Football Club. Let's welcome Nick Owen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi Nick. Now firstly
with a jar of paint or something.
Well, we would love to hear your strangest superstitions. So send in your stories or your pictures and we'll be showing a few of the best ones a little bit later on in the programme.
Now, often we hear about dairy farm closures in the news, but we rarely get to see what happens after the herds are sold and the dairy doors are shut.
Now our first feature follows the story of Nick Brandrick, a man who has managed to turn his farm and find really creative ways to make his land pay.
Here's Rebecca.
Since 1990.
Wow, what an incredible story.
Well, we at Omnia wish Nick all the best luck and we'll actually be catching up with him a little bit later on in the year.
Now Nick, Luton Town FC is a Conference League club, is that correct?
Yeah, at the moment.
Okay, so why Luton Town? Why not other Londoners like Spurs or Arsenal?
Because it's my local team from where I come from, 13 miles away, you know.
Oh, okay.
And my father took me to my first game on September the 3rd, 1958. I was absolutely bonkers about the club already. I've been following them in the papers, you know. Of course, there was no live football on television or anything like that in those days, so it was all down to reading the papers or listening to reports on the radio. And as I say, my father was a regular, and I got keen and got keener and keener and keener. And in the end, it's become a lifelong passion. 56 years of abject misery.
Wow.
We've had some great times. We were founder members of the Premier League, you know, and then things went badly wrong and plummeted and plummeted and plummeted. And then at one stage they asked me if I'd just get involved, purely as a figurehead, really. I'm not financially involved. So.
Yeah.
Now, Nick, can I ask, what's happening at the club now? We've heard there could be a promotion on the card.
Absolutely. We sort of won last night and we're just about certain now to go up.
Good.
It should be clinched either on Thursday night or Saturday night this week. Thursday night, Cambridge, our nearest rivals, are playing, and if they don't win, we're up.
Yeah.
But Saturday, we can win and, you know, we're up. But I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched. So,
Yeah.
But it's very exciting. We're about to get back in the Football League, brings in loads of money, you know, get $1.5 million just like that.
Wow.
And you start getting television money, you get bigger crowds, and we're away again, back where we belong.
Good.
And there is something I've really been excited about asking about. There is a lounge named after you, and we have heard a story. You got turned away once.
I know.
Is that true? What happened?
Well, yeah, there's a Nick Owen lounge. There's two lounges there, Nick Owen lounge and Eric Morecambe lounge. He was a bit funnier than me. Anyway, the Nick Owen lounge, one day I was there with my 3 boys, I think, just before the game, went to go and have a drink in there.
Yeah.
And the bloke on the door, who's a sort of bouncer type, who didn't know me from Adam, and he said, "Sorry, you can't come in here, mate." And I said, "Oh," I said, "sorry, full, can't let anyone else in." So we just went away. And afterwards, another guy in the queue said to the bouncer, "Do you know who that was?" And he said no. He said, "Well, his name's in dirty great block capitals above your head."
Out of all the people,
Yeah, it's very, very funny, really. But it was all right. Health and safety. If you can only have, say, 200 people in there, you can't let more in. But he just didn't happen to know who I was.
So Nick, what activities is the club involved in the community? Because I know it's not just about football, is it? You do outreach and
there's lots of things going on, really. I mean, first of all, there's loads of youngsters coming through. We've got 10 and 11-year-olds playing there in various teams, and they go on tournaments abroad and so on. And we go out into colleges and talk to people and have training courses and education things going on at our place. And we're involved in lots of charities. I mean, it's all about trying to be part of the community and put something into the community in the hope long term that they put something into us as well and come and watch.
About the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where we're
going to be there forever. And that's football clubs are very central to communities, more so than ever these days, because I think a lot of towns you wouldn't have even heard of if they didn't have a football club.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of future, our next feature is all about training our future practitioners, but in a rather extreme way.
Here's Callan with the story. Well, that looked like 1 in 10 stay, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't even know things like that existed or went on. Did you?
Yes. I mean, I'm aware they do these sort of things. And they're incredibly realistic, aren't they?
Very,
very
impressive.
I don't think I could cope with that kind of situation.
No, in real life.
No.
I think you'd find something would kick in, I reckon.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I
Fire.
think a
When
bit
it's
of
a matter of
adrenaline
life
and
and death,
Yeah.
you know, you get on with it.
Definitely.
But I know what you mean. I don't half admire those sort of people who do it. And when even in the small emergencies I've been involved in here and there, you really are lost in admiration for the people who work professionally in
Yeah,
it.
they do
I mean,
every day.
one of the most dramatic things in my life was working on the Birmingham pub bombs, November 1974. I was actually reporting from outside the Mulberry Bush, you know, and the emergency services are in there looking for bodies and limbs and things like that. And that was just devastating.
terrible.
You don't half admire people.
Definitely.
Well, on that note, we would like to say a big thank you to the Faculty of Health at the BCU for giving us an opportunity to see an actual situation behind the closed doors of the A&E department.
Now, at the beginning of the programme, we asked you to tell us about your strangest superstitions. We've had some fantastic stories and pictures sent through.
Yes, but before we do share these with you, we want to learn more about how superstitions affect us today in the UK. So we sent Richard out in the freezing cold to speak to the people of Birmingham to find out what's been going on. It was a good day, wasn't it?
It was an interesting day.
Yeah.
We interacted with the public, we interviewed them, and we came up with a few kind of situations and superstitions that they have. So
Exactly. Well, let's find out how it was. Here's Richard.
To ask yourself, are you superstitious?
So it is about luck anyway.
well, it depends on how you look at it. We met quite a few people that day, and a lot of them, probably the majority, would say that they're not superstitious, but then they'd still abide by the superstition.
Yeah.
So they'd still salute a magpie if they saw it, or they wouldn't walk under a ladder, they'd cross the street.
Yeah.
A lot of them wouldn't walk over 3 drains. So it's very interesting that these
a
things have
certain-
kind of been passed down from family members, but they wouldn't call themselves superstitious.
Nick, could I ask, do any of your players have a certain ritual or a thing that they definitely will or won't do before they go on the field?
Well, I don't know specifically about our players, but in general, footballers do have loads of things, like they put their left boot on first and the right on second, or the other way round, or they put the shirt on last, or they put the shorts on last,
Yeah.
and they want to be the last out the tunnel, or the first out the tunnel, or the middle one in the tunnel, all those things, and they always sort of might touch the top of the tunnel just before they go out. Lots of people do that. You even see people crossing themselves and stuff like that, you know, for religious reasons, presumably.
Yeah.
But I've never really got these superstitions. I have little rituals. I mean, like when I'm about to go on air, I'm always asking camera crews or floor managers, like, is my tie straight and things like
Yeah,
that. Because
yeah,
they can
little
so easily
niggly
get
bits.
disrupted if
It
you
is
move.
today.
You move,
Yeah.
you
It
move.
is today.
Is it? Thank you.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
It's looking good, looking
Right,
good.
let's check out some of your strange superstitions. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay then, first up we've got Margaret Johnson from Bristol. She has told us when she was trying to have children, her grandmother told her not to eat lettuce.
I've never heard of that one.
That's just bad science, isn't it? I'm sure vitamins
Yeah, you should
and
be having
fruit and veg is
things
good.
all coming in. Yeah.
Not much going on in lettuce, though, is there? It's
That's
just
true.
a
No,
leaf,
it's
I always
water.
think.
Just basically water. Okay, next, John Taylor from Salford said that he tucks his thumbs in when he passes a graveyard in order to protect his parents.
Have you ever heard of that one?
No,
Me
it's
neither.
bizarre,
It's
isn't it?
ridiculous.
I've not heard of that one either.
I've got to be honest though, my favourite has come from Katie Blacker from Cardiff. Now, she believes that if a bird poos in her car, it's going to bring a good luck. So she actually parks the car under the tree so she gets as much bird.
Really? Oh, it drives me bonkers when
That
the
would
car's
drive
covered
me.
in
Wouldn't
bird
want some
poo.
good luck
It's a
bird
nightmare to
poo.
get off it as well.
Exactly.
To get off the car, isn't it?
Very
sometimes?
expensive
Yeah.
to clean your car.
It is indeed.
Now, our final feature is about one teenage girl who is singing her way to success in Leamington Spa.
Now, she is so good, you're not going to believe just how young she is. Another inspiring story on Omina with Hannah Worth, and we're going to find out what she's been up to.
To end the show, Hannah is here in the studio and will perform live one of her very own songs, You and Yesterday.
But before that, I'd like to say, Nick, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Been a pleasure. I've loved it. Love meeting you. Thank
Thank
you.
You. And join us again tomorrow because we'll be talking with the winner of The Voice 2014, Jermaine Jackman.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Wolf.